Hey YouTube, this is Steve from Average Joe's Fantasy Football, and we've got your last mock draft video for the 12-man full PPR league. And of course, if it's half PPR, this will also help you guys out. Again, this is a mock draft of where players are starting to fall. Things have changed and fluctuated throughout the preseason, of course, training camp. And of course, when we get closer to the end of the season, barring some injuries, this should kind of get you in the right aspect of who you should be drafting. There's all kinds of great strategies, hero running back, zero running back. There's all kinds of different ways to get you guys ready. So again, let's check this out. All right, as you can see here, we are in the 12th spot of a 12-man mock draft. If you guys are in other positions, make sure you guys check out our other videos. And of course, check out our latest video, which is going to be how your first round should go. No matter what pick you are, this is where players should be. Now, in this one, when it comes to the 12th man, it's a little bit harder to get those premier wide receivers or running backs, which is totally understandable, but you're still going to get really good players at the end, especially since you have the swing right there. So as you can see, Christian McCaffrey, Justin Jefferson, Chase, like those guys are going to be gone pretty quickly. Surprised to see Bijan Robinson this early. I've done a few drafts. I actually had a draft where I got Bijan later in the draft, which I felt pretty confident about. But again, Bijan at the 5 spot is a little bit early. So with that said, on the swing around, you can go CeeDee Lamb, who I think is going to be fantastic. Nick Chubb. And Raw, you can go really strong wide receivers here. I have seen Patrick Mahomes here. I'm not going to go Patrick Mahomes. I am going to grab CeeDee Lamb here. So I think he's going to be a great asset, especially when he had Dak with him. He was phenomenal. So I like CeeDee Lamb at that spot. And I'm actually going to go Nick Chubb as my other running back. Because again, running backs are still very important. I know Nick Chubb is not known for his PPR, but the fact that Kareem Hunt's not there, they may see some increase. Not a lot. I'm not expecting him to be that guy, but I do like Chubb being there in that spot. So got a little bit of a mix. CeeDee Lamb, Nick Chubb, feel really good about it. Now this is going to be a lot tougher because now you're going to see a lot of the premier tight end like Mark Andrews going. Maybe you'll see TJ Hawkinson. I'm going to skip the tight end spot. I'm still going to fill with the best possible player. I love grabbing Jahmyr Gibbs here. He's a lot of upside. Again, especially in a full PPR, because if you've seen any of this training camp, if you've seen what his capability is and his talent, I think they're going to utilize him like crazy. I think David Montgomery still has a role, don't get me wrong, but I don't think it's going to be as dominant as like Jamal Williams was the year before. I think it's going to be a little bit less Montgomery and a little bit more Gibbs because of his playmaking ability. Now, looking at the rest of this start, you got Keenan Allen I can grab, Calvin Ridley, right? You can obviously grab Deebo Samuel, maybe an Aaron Jones, who is fantastic as well. He seems to be dropping in drafts, and I don't understand that because he's very talented. You could go TJ Hawkinson, again, a really nice tight end. I could try to get a tight end in the, later in the 5th, maybe 6th round. In this aspect, I'm actually going to go and grab Deebo Samuel. I'm not known for grabbing Deebo Samuel, but he is a very talented receiver. I still think Ayuk is probably the better receiver on that team, but Deebo Samuel is a very talented player. If Elijah Mitchell does have some injuries, which right now is happening, and he does have it throughout the season, you still have Christian McCaffrey, who's going to be an awesome player. But I think Deebo Samuel might get some increase there. I think they're going to utilize him a little more, and they promised to use him on this year. So Deebo Samuel in the 4th round, I'm not overly concerned of grabbing. I don't think I lost anything there. Now you can see the tight end. I'm actually going to grab Darren Waller because I think Darren Waller is going to have a great season with Daniel Jones as long as he is healthy. Because right now, Daniel Jones absolutely loves Darren Waller right now. And I don't blame him. He is the best receiving option besides Barkley for this Giants team. So Darren Waller is definitely going to open up some things in the middle. I'm actually going to go and grab my quarterback here. I'm going to grab Trevor Lawrence. I think can actually squeak into the top 5 if his offense really does what I think it is capable of, especially with Doug Peterson as the head coach. He's definitely a quarterback guru. And you saw the big jump from his rookie year and then what last year. And if Trevor Lawrence can clean up some of those interceptions, which didn't look great in the first preseason game, I think he'll still have a really good season. So I like my essentially starting lineup, right? Trevor Lawrence, Chubb, Gibbs, right? Samuel, Deebo, Darren. Now I've got to fill out my flex and the rest of my depth. So for me, I'm going to actually go grab George Pickens. I think he's going to have a fantastic season. He looks really good. He's got a great rapport with Kenny Pickett. So I like grabbing Pickens there. And then I'm actually going to grab James Cook. And again, another nice little flex play. I have not looked at the bye weeks. I'm not necessarily going to go over the bye weeks because, again, you want to have the best player. There's always waivers. Anybody knows fantasy is not won in the draft. It is won in the waivers. So grabbing a good start like James Cook is a good option, even though he could have possibly had my same bye week. But in this case, I'm actually in good shape where Gibbs and Chubb do not. So, and again, James Cook is on a high-powered offense. You got to think about players that are going to score and have opportunities to score. So looking at the rest of this, I've got 5 bench players. And then again, like I mentioned, I don't grab kicker yet. So for me, I'm going to grab Khalil Herbert because I think Khalil Herbert's going to be a nice little option. I still think Deontay Foreman becomes the 1-2 and then Herbert's there, but he looked really good in his first game. Actually, that Bears offense in general looked pretty good in the first preseason game, but it is preseason. So again, things are going to be a little different. With that said, I'm going to grab another player here, obviously on the swing around. I'm actually going to go and grab Allen Lazard because I think Allen Lazard has a great rapport with Aaron Rodgers. This is going to be an offense that is looking to score and put up points with Aaron Rodgers throwing the ball predominantly towards Garrett Wilson. But with that said, Garrett Wilson's going to obviously see the best possible cornerback, which leaves Lazard as an option. And again, because Aaron Rodgers and Lazard already have that rapport, I think it's going to benefit Lazard a lot. So I like that pickup there. Now I've got 2 more right here on the swing. For me, I'm going to actually go and grab Rashad Bateman. I think he's going to be a nice little addition to, again, this team, adding a player that does have some injury issues, but if he does stay healthy, can absolutely be a dominant beast for this passing offense because you've got Zay Flowers to focus on, you got Odell to focus on, Mark Andrews to focus on, and I think Rashad Bateman actually has the talent to actually pretty much stand out, and I know he's not necessarily looked at. I'm going to grab Tyler Algier here because I think Algier, even though I don't have Bijan Robinson, and if you are a Bijan Robinson owner, you probably should have Algier as a nice little handcuff, but I'm going to grab Algier because it's still, I think this Falcons offense is going to run the ball like crazy. They were one of the top teams as far as rushing attempts, and Algier is a 1,000-yard back. That's not going to be something they just forget. So I like grabbing him here later on. Now my last pick here, as far as my normal bench, because again, I'm going to grab my kicker after this. I'm looking at grabbing Nico Collins because I think he's a nice little addition with this offense. With, again, CJ Stroud as a rookie quarterback. You've got Robert Woods out there. Dalton Schultz. I think Collins finally has some opportunity to actually do pretty well. And then I'm going to grab my kicker and grab him in Brandon McManus. Again, I think this Jaguars offense is going to get down the field, whether they score or in opportunities for field goals. I like McManus there. So that is my mock draft for the 12th spot. It is a little bit tougher. If you guys have watched any of these mock drafts or if anything like that, the 12th is a little bit of a tougher challenge because you can grab some really good players in the first, I would say 3 or 4 rounds, and it can be a little bit tougher because, again, you have all these players going there. Now, I have seen some people in the 3rd round swing. Again, that might help you out there, but I think in this aspect, this is probably a good team that can possibly put up some points. And I feel really confident grabbing a little bit of that mixture of wide receiver and running back to kind of even balance this team. So again, if you guys have comments, questions, hit us up in the comments down here. We'll be able to help answer any of your lineup questions that are coming up soon. And of course, any of your draft questions. Maybe you have some trades. You're still in Dynasty, right? You got some trade questions. That's what we're here for. Hit us in the comments, follow us on the socials. If you guys enjoy the content, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel because we're going to be dropping, obviously, your start and sits at the beginning of the NFL season throughout every week. And, of course, your waivers to help you guys throughout the season to get into the best possible position. Make sure you guys hit that like button. I'll check you guys out next time.